Whistler's streets, stores and businesses are filled with art. But which new artists are on display? Find out today on The Express. On today's show,
one of the more popular stories amongst the Squamish people is the story of Sanulthkai, which talks of the double-headed sea serpent.
The story of a two-headed sea serpent in the sea-to-sky corridor. We meet local firefighting superheroes, only these ones don't come with capes.
There's at times when you have done something and you've saved somebody or whatever, or prevented a major catastrophe. That's a good feeling.
And catch the action of Whistler's first ever longboarding festival.
The rush of just nailing a corner and really taking it as fast as you can is just unbeatable.
It's Fast and Furious today on The Express. Welcome to The Express on Shore TV. I'm your host Dee Raffo, and you're joining me whilst we explore the Whistler Art Walk, one step and one artist at a time. But from visual art to the art of weaving tales, the Squamish Nation tells us a story behind two popular destinations along the Sea-to-Sky Highway. To the everyday onlooker, Shannon Falls is just another impressive must-do on the tourist map. But deep within the sound of the water, the drumbeat of the First Nations tells a different story.
One of the more popular stories amongst the Squamish people is the story of Sanulthkai, which talks of the double-headed sea serpent.
Shannon Falls was created by this mighty beast twisting its way up the mountainside, forging a path through the rock where now the water crashes. The story of the falls intertwines with that of the Squamish chief, another popular stop along Highway 99.
Shannon Falls has a traditional name of Quaquatquum, which refers to the rumbling sound that the power of that waterfalls creates, almost like a fast drumming song. The area is known for its power in the sense of our Squamtons, our medicine people, would traditionally go to the tops of these mountains and find seclusion.
Today, it's a bit too popular to find seclusion. There are two platform areas from which to view the falls. The first has an easily accessible paved pathway, but head further up and guests can meander through the dirt tracks of the forest. Shannon Falls is BC's third largest waterfall, with the water crashing 335 metres before hitting the rocks below. If you look upwards through the mist, it does seem to tower endlessly above you. No wonder it's one of the most popular places to visit along the Sea-to-Sky corridor. As is the Squamish Chief, which towers an impressive 700 metres above Squamish. 3 summits make up the world's second largest granite monolith. Connect with the stories of old as you hike through ancient grounds.
It's said that the son of the chief here, his name was Quitchtal, he was tasked with the responsibility of slaying the serpent. As soon as Quitchtal pursued Sanulthkai, Sanulthkai took off and climbed the face of the chief, and you'll see that path of Sanulthkai is etched in the chief as a black mark that runs the entire length.
Growing up listening to the language and tales of his nation, Chief Ian Campbell sees stories in every part of nature.
I've been very fortunate to be raised by my late grandfather, Chief Lawrence Baker. My grandfather also brought me onto the land and immersed me in much of our traditions and teachings of our ancient connection to the land with the place names, the mythology, the hunting, the fishing, and the love of the rhythm of the land in this part of the world.
In the end, Wichita succeeded in killing the serpent, which means we are free to visit and enjoy both these impressive locations. For Shore TV, this is Dee Raffo in Squamish. The house sound inspired storytellers of the past, but is still inspiring those of today. The fourth part of the Twilight saga, Breaking Dawn, was filmed right in the house sound area. Whistler's Art Walk features 50 artists from the Sea-to-Sky corridor. But what usually comes with good art and culture? Good food. But unfortunately, sometimes it's a little harder to find.
What sort of dressing would you like on your salad?
I think it's important that you have a very wide variety of foods that are natural and cooked from scratch.
On a busy Thursday morning, Chef Greg Van Eerden juggles orders at the Clock Tower Cafe, while preparing healthy meals for the new Meals on Wheels program available in Squamish.
Right now we're running on Thursdays, and the meals are picked up about 11:45 and delivered as close to the lunch hour as we can.
A joint effort of the Squamish Senior Centre, Chef Greg, and invaluable volunteers, the Meals on Wheels program began operating 2 months ago.
The Meals on Wheels was an idea when we knew that there was going to be a kitchen in the Senior Centre, and we wanted to utilize it to the best that we could. So the cafe has taken it on as a service.
That's kind of a natural, isn't it?
Thanks to a grant and funding from Vancouver Coastal Health, the centre was able to purchase the trays for transporting meals required to get the program off the ground.
It's been 5 weeks now. We've pretty much increased our clientele by 1 customer a week, so we're up to 5 customers now. I'm hoping that with a little more awareness that'll grow.
Greg's passion for providing flavorful meals made with quality products is evident in today's menu. And if it tastes as good as it sounds, they are sure to build their customer base.
Do they like white bread or rye bread or multigrain or?
Today there was a chocolate almond meringue cake for dessert, and I always start with dessert because the future's uncertain. Then they had a grilled chicken with lemon and herbs on mushroom risotto, steamed green beans, and a spinach salad with ranch dressing.
Right now they're signing up for either 6 or 10 meals, and we're hoping that they're so happy with the service that they're going to sign up for 6 or 10 more.
I've already had phone calls from people that want it every day to be delivered, and it's a service that I think is really invaluable.
As the customer base expands, so will the delivery days. This program wouldn't be possible without the help of the volunteer drivers. Their contribution helps keep the meals affordable and, most importantly, gets hot meals to those unable to shop and cook for themselves.
Okay, thanks Terry Ann for offering to drive today. So it's not very. If we could get drivers for 3 days a week, that would be a good goal for us, I think, at this time.
From the Clock Tower Cafe at the Squamish Seniors Centre, I'm Jessica Turner for Shaw TV.
To order a meal or volunteer, drop in at the Squamish Seniors Centre. Tonight we're dropping into the world of art, but what makes an event like this a success? We asked the lady who brought the art walk concept to Whistler.
What the Art Walk is really an opportunity for artists to exhibit in very busy, high traffic areas rather than, say, empty museums or galleries. So it's sort of a public, free-for-all, an ability to just go somewhere, buy a coffee, look at art, and get to know the artists in your neighborhood.
There's talent here from all over the Sea to Sky region, but what makes this a favourite with the locals?
It's wonderful to come out and see what our Whistler community can create. There's fantastic artists in this community, and it's a real treat to see them displayed and highlighted all over town.
Oh, follow the ladies in red. We're giving a tour guide of all the Art Walk venues.
It's one of my favorite events, and one of the reasons for that is because it brings out so many people who come to the opening receptions. What we've also grown is with the street entertainment. So it's not just, the art openings are not just art in venues, but they're also musicians. We have live painting, we now have an art tour that happens, we have a flag program. So every year we add a little bit more that makes the event even more and more exciting and brings in other art forms.
Nice to see you. So what's it like to paint live at the Whistler Art Walk?
It's fun. There's lots of people wandering around, lots of energy. Yeah, lots of different people too to talk to.
What response have you had? Are people asking questions?
Yeah, totally. They're asking what I'm painting, what I'm doing.
How many years have you been coming to the Whistler Art Walk?
I've been coming to the Whistler Art Walk for 5 years.
That's pretty amazing. Well, Laurel does need to carry on with her canvas, so we're going to head off and investigate some more Sea to Sky talent. Take a personal tour of the Art Walk during the months of July and August. You can pick up a map at My Millennium Place. Stay tuned, more local stories coming your way. Still to come, What kind of training goes into being a firefighter?
On the last Tuesday of every month, we stay around the hall and just do maintenance. We take all the small equipment and tools off the trucks, make sure everything's running.
And big summer fun in Coombs on Vancouver Island.
The ghost had a ride in the front of the pickup, not in the back of the pickup.
This is Max. Like many bears, Max is curious. What he found was a bear buffet. One day, Max became brazen, trying to get an easy meal, and ended up in conflict with people. Max was in real danger. The good news is, by removing the attractant, you remove the bear and the problem. Let's teach bears to stay away, rather than inviting them to come and stay.
Welcome back to Whistler's Art Walk. I'm your host Dee Raffo and you're watching The Express. Climbing ladders, putting out fires and saving lives often gives firefighters a superhero status. But how do they gain this respect? Well, it's with a lot of practice and a lot of dedication.
I want Gary to drive. There's Lance.
Everybody loves to drive the fire truck and ride around in the fire truck and wear the outfits.
The inner child comes out in the suited-up members of the Britannia Beach Volunteer Fire Department as they turn on the siren and pull out of the station.
Nate, you go with Lance, please. We try to keep the interest there instead of pulling the hose, putting the hose back. You know, we try to put a little excitement and stuff. So grab the hydrant.
Every Tuesday night, the all-volunteer crew of 20 meet for practice, and it's not all fun and games. When the crew is called to action, they work together as a unified team.
That's pretty much our job here too, is to be in a state of readiness for whatever may happen.
Upper hydrant, you're on number 1 in the back, right?
Operating large equipment and controlling high water pressure, the inner child disappears and the crew is focused and in constant communication.
I see to attack line, you're on the pre-connect.
There's a lot of force in the water, and there's a lot of dangers associated with it as well, so safety is a very big factor.
Training nights also involve a good once-over of the hall and testing of equipment.
Do you know how to start this generator? On the last Tuesday of every month, we stay around the hall and just do maintenance. We take all the small equipment and tools off the trucks, make sure everything's running.
Serving the small communities of Britannia Beach and Furry Creek, the department responds to minimal call-outs. The training nights give the members, especially the rookies, the opportunity to learn and grow on a regular basis.
The arrow points to full there.
I really like to see the young people coming in because they have a lot of ambition, a lot of drive, and they have youth on their side.
We have right now, I think it's 20 members, and we are looking to increase that to about 35 or so.
No previous experience necessary, just dedication and physical ability.
What I really insist upon is good attendance more than anything else. Physical fitness is also very important, and well, a sense of responsibility helps too.
Residing in Britannia Beach or Furry Creek makes the 3 a.m. calls easier to respond to. However, the opportunity to volunteer is now available to Squamish residents as well.
There's at times when you have done something and you've saved somebody or whatever or prevented a major catastrophe. That's a good feeling.
Experiencing hands-on training for myself. From Britannia Beach, I'm Jessica Turner for Shaw TV.
The Britannia Beach volunteer firefighters meet every Tuesday night. If you'd like to join the team, contact Chief Iverson. But from firefighters to fire starters, Whistler's Art Walk is a hotbed of talent. But further afield, we meet some extraordinary four-legged animals.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
Lots of people at Coombs, some are on their own. Goats on the roof, called their home.
Oh, there you go.
This is Larry Geeky. He's cruising through the old country market in Coombs that's famous for having goats on the roof. But Larry is much more than just a visitor here. He's the owner. Back in his 20s, a real estate deal he was making fell through in Parksville.
So my father-in-law says, well, why don't you try something in Coombs here? Years ago, when I was 16 years old, he built a hamburger stand here for my wife, and there was 3 beautiful daughters, and all the local guys used to hang around to get burgers, right? So, so he offered the front of the road for me, and I said, why not? Coombs, it's free. So I built a little stand out of the bush.
And from there, it grew. A market was built a couple of years later, and then came the goats, an idea that flowed from a homemade bottle of wine while reminiscing about the good old days in Norway.
Why don't we put goats on the roof? And this was just before the fall fair, Coombs Fall Fair. Okay, let's try it. I knew a couple that had pet goats. I asked them if we could use their goats, 5 goats. Here's a pickup. The goats had a ride in the front of the pickup, not in the back of the pickup. They lived about a mile from here.
Today, more than 1 million people from around the world come to see the goats, Coco and Easter and April and Bambi. Jennifer Sturks works at the market, and it's her goats from Up a Creek Farm that greet the visitors every day from just before the May long weekend to just before Halloween.
It's huge. I'm so excited about it. Because we used to come up here all the time, and I used to see the goats before I had goats. And to be able to say my goats are on the roof at Coombs is very cool.
You couldn't put goats on a roof today. The building permits put in place in 2010 don't allow for this kind of creativity. But things don't stay the same for long here at the Old Country Market. There's a new restaurant this year, Cuckoo in Coombs. And there's fresh produce and a bakery and dancing puppets and a whole lot more. You'll never see advertising for this place. It's all word of mouth. And Larry says the business has to earn its place and speak for itself.
Well, you're here for a reason. You picked this, so God, it must be doing something right. Yeah. You know. But I also realize we're on the edge all the time. That if we don't look after it, if we don't, how hard is it may be to try to stay on top of it? It's gone. It's gone.
Too busy kicking back, having a ball, and you can't breathe. And eat ice cream.
And that is probably one of the favorite things to do here at the Old Country Market in Coombs, eat ice cream. There's more than 50 different flavors. I'm partial to maybe a cherry custard, but Todd Jones behind the camera has been coveting the brand new flavor, peanut butter and strawberry jam. You gotta keep your camera guys happy, you know that. Here you go, Todd. For Big Summer in Coombs, I'm Kate Bergen.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
A little closer to home, we're enjoying the artists along Whistler's Art Walk. Every year, the Whistler Arts Council brings together art and the community, and the crowds get bigger and bigger. We can only hope for the same for this next event. After the break, if hairpin turns at breakneck speeds are your thing, this must be just the event for you.
We need to make sure that we take the right steps and execute a very professional event.
Mountain biking takes serious dedication, and the key to a long career is using your head. Knowing my limits and wearing the proper helmet and gear have kept me in the game all these years. Well, sometimes I guess it's mostly the gear. So hey, use your head and ride within your limits if you want to ride tomorrow. Now isn't that what it's all about?
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to The Express. I'm your host, Dee Raffo. Art Walk features artists and artisans in host venues all over Whistler Village. Another great place to visit in the summer is Saratoga for some monster truck action.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip is brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
Today's road trip is taking us off-road to Saratoga Speedway in Black Creek. It's just outside of Courtenay and is the only racetrack outside of Victoria on Vancouver Island.
This is Pegasus. This is a 66-inch tire. It's almost taller than I am. It's worth $6 grand secondhand. Pegasus is the only ride-on monster truck in British Columbia, and today we're going for a ride.
Pegasus has got a 460 cubic inch engine. It's about 525 horsepower. The truck itself weighs 13,000 pounds, and it used to be a monster truck on the circuit quite a few years ago.
I know I'm short, but I've never had to actually use a ladder to get into a truck before. Here we go.
Pegasus is an adrenaline ride for all ages. The youngest has been 6 months old, and the eldest was 98. It's designed to thrill, yes, but it's also very, very safe. Pegasus stands at 13 feet, that's nearly 4 meters tall, and it's 13 feet wide. It weighs 13,000 pounds, nearly 6 tons. And Paul says the most important thing when driving it is making sure you can stop in time.
It has got good brakes, but it does take time for it to react. It's also got a 36 inches of suspension travel, so when you hit the brakes or when you use the accelerator, the truck either rises or lowers on the suspension. And you also have to be aware of what you hit because nothing will stop it. I have found nothing I can't go through, nothing I can't go over. It's just unbelievable. That's why they call them monster trucks. They are literally unstoppable. There's nothing I can't go over.
We're on top of a school bus!
Saratoga Speedway was purchased by the Hargrave family in the 1970s to be used as a sawmill. But they opened the speedway here in 1981 and haven't looked back since. This year marks 30 years of high-speed family entertainment. There is no drinking on site and hooligans will not be tolerated. It's a formula that seems to be working. More than 1,200 spectators come out to watch every race.
We're one of the few success stories in terms of auto racing. We've got more cars than we've ever had before. I remember back in '81, we opened up our season. We had 12 cars in one class. This past Saturday night, we had 3 classes of cars and 60 race cars on the infield.
And here in the outfield, Pegasus splooshes and splashes through the mud while Paul carefully guides her through his family's property that they share with race fans. Paul is a conscientious driver, always checking in with the passenger, and it's the smiles that he likes the most. What's next for Saratoga Speedway? They already offer more than 11 different classes of oval track car races, as well as go-karts, motorcycles, and autocross slalom. Of course, there's Pegasus, too. Paul says they'll continue with providing good, clean, family fun.
I guess until something better comes along, this is my destiny, I guess.
Rides on Pegasus and go-kart rentals are available 7 days a week from noon until 4. There's racing every Saturday night, weather permitting. For full details, visit www.saratogaspeedway.bc.ca. For Quality Assured Collision Road Trip in Black Creek, I'm Kate Bergen.
Quality Assured Collision Road Trip has been brought to you by Quality Assured Collision Services and our network of 18 auto body shops across BC.
From monster trucks to monster art, one of the best things about the Whistler Art Walk is that it's free. And another free event hitting the headlines this summer is Whistler's first ever longboarding festival. Later on in the show, international athletes will be tackling a race course at speeds of over 65 kilometers an hour. Love art? Whistler's Art Walk is full of inspiring artists from all over the region. But this art lover is also an animal lover. Let's see who's up for adoption at the Squamish SPCA and Wagon Whistler.
Hi, welcome to the Squamish SPCA. I'm just showing you some of the animals that we have up for adoption.
This here is Puzzle. She is one of our 1-year-old tortoiseshell females that we have up for adoption. She's quite small, as you can tell. She'd be a good family cat. She's not a huge fan of the other cats, so a solo cat would be best for her. This here is Sydney. She's one of our younger females we have. She is around 2 years old. She's a little bit more on the quiet side. She won't come out looking for attention, but she doesn't mind some treats and some pets. She'd make a great cat for more of a quiet home.
Hi, welcome to Wagon Whistler. Here's a few of the pets that we have up for adoption. This is Bentley. He's a 12-week-old puppy that was found in Seton Portage. He loves getting cuddles, but he is quite shy. So this is Sophie. She is a really nice cat. She'd make a lovely family cat. She is a long hair, so we're looking for someone who can brush her hair all the time.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WAG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents.
Both of these shelters need your help. Whether you can donate some cash or your time, both are invaluable. The Art Walk is a leisurely stroll, but let's pick up the pace for this next story. Whistler's first ever longboarding festival sees over 90 racers hitting speeds of 65 kilometers an hour whilst dropping 1,000 feet over a mile of track. This style of skating is aptly named speedboarding.
We've been keeping our eyes on this road since it was built for the 2010 Olympics. I'm confident that this is the most challenging and most fun as a racer track there is in North America.
Longboarding is similar to skateboarding, but the wider and longer boards mean more stability, so it's an environmentally friendly way to commute to work, or one of the fastest and most dangerous sports around.
It's definitely one of my favorite runs I've ever skated. The rush of just nailing a corner and really taking it the fastest you can is unbeatable.
The carving motion looks similar to snowboarding and surfing, but if you fall off, the concrete is not so forgiving.
These riders behind me have excess of 5-10 years experience, and they're using a lot of protective measures. We have hay bales, we have a clean course we've swept, we have leathers, we have helmets, we have gloves, and we have experience.
This event has brought an international crowd of competitors from as far afield as Australia, Europe and Latin America. So what do racers, volunteers and fans think of longboarding in Whistler?
I think it's going to be really fun. It's a great course. It's pretty technical. It should be good.
I think this is really exciting. I'm a little nervous watching these young men and I think a couple of women.
It's fantastic. It's the most amazing venue. I mean, anywhere you can see bear and deer and all the wildlife around in such a gorgeous place, and then get out on the road and slide down the hill. It's amazing.
It's awesome. I love it here.
Event organizer Lee Cation also runs the Gold Rush Challenge at Britannia Beach. This attracts more spectators and local support year after year. His dreams for Whistler are much the same.
It's our hope that we can come back next year. This year is really a kind of a trial event for the resort municipality, the Whistler Sliding Center, and for our event. We need to make sure that we take the right steps and execute a very professional event.
These road warriors certainly feel the need for speed. This is Dee Raffo watching the action for Shore TV. The track is lined with hay bales to protect both the athletes and the spectators. Whistler certainly ticks the boxes for both sport and art, but what else is going on in the Sea to Sky corridor? They make it, bake it and grow it. They're the Squamish Farmers Market, on twice a week in the downtown core on the corner of Cleveland and Victoria. Each Tuesday, tea-goers are invited to listen to a local tale at the Pemberton Museum starting July 12th. Juno Award-winning trio Bedouin Soundclash bring the optimistic world pop sound to Garfinkel's. Advance tickets are available at the Garfinkel's lobby. The Whistler Art Walk has been an impressive showcase of both art and talent, and you can take your own self-guided tour this July and August. But that's enough walking for us tonight. If you'd like to see your story on our show, please contact us at sea2skyexpress@shore.ca. You can also find us online at shoretv.com. Join us next week, but in the meantime, remember you can go to the Whistler Farmers Market both on Wednesday and Sunday. But until next time, from the Express, thank you for watching.
Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe provided by Peak Performance. Hairstyling by The Loft Salon. And makeup provided by Beauty Mark.
POV camera, courtesy of Contour.
While filming on the mountain, parking provided by the Fire Rock Lounge.